Hey everyone, hopefully you're having a good day. My name's Andy. My channel is Finding Value. Today, we're going to go over diversified mining companies. We'll go into some fertilizer companies. I saw someone in the comments section looking for an update in fertilizers. I'll go over all these just to refresh your mind. This is just my financial opinion. Please don't use it as advice. I do carry more. If you were to look at my portfolio, I know I get a lot of people asking about what my portfolio looks like. It's difficult to say because when I first originally set it up, I have much larger holdings in oil, natural gas, and uranium, and my precious metals have kind of gotten smaller. I don't keep it to a certain percentage. I just go into whatever I think is the best opportunity at the time with the most leverage. So my portfolio is very heavily weighted towards energy, only because I would say I kind of somewhat equal weighted it in the beginning. I was moving money from precious metals into energy companies, and then the energy companies have done very well, especially the oil side. So I'm very oil heavy, oil and natural gas heavy. I do have a good stake in uranium as well, and they've performed very well when I bought them in 2020. And then the precious metals companies haven't performed as well as those. I still think they're going to perform incredibly well coming up. And I have maintained an allocation to them. So I am very overweight energy. Energy is probably 80% of my portfolio now, or even greater than that. It's somewhere around that. And that's not taking into account my physical holdings. This is only in the equity sides of the portfolio and kind of how well they have done. I own a good chunk in the diversified mining companies and royalty companies as well. The bulk of my beginning investments went into oil, uranium, diversified miners, royalty companies, and the oil companies have done incredibly well. I've gotten multiple 10 plus baggers. What that means is you've 10 times your money or greater in those areas. Crew Energy is one. I think that's over 10. Athabasca Oil is. SM Energy, CDEV. There's those over there have done very well. And there's more. Tellurian's done very well. Grand Tierra Energy. They're all multi-hundreds percents up. What did I do to do it? I bought when it was very low, and I'm just holding on. I haven't sold any of those companies. And I haven't sold any of these either. And I think these are looking pretty good. I'd like to go over them. I'll go over the fertilizer companies as well, since somebody had mentioned that. So I also own these. This is a decent stake in my portfolio. They're dividend-paying companies. We're just going over diversified miners here. So let's dive in this. We've got Vale, V-A-L-E. Big long-term perspective picture here. We're coming up on this resistance line up here. We hit it once, twice, 3 times, and we're going to try to probably run at it again. The dailies were up 3% today. It was an up day, but it was a little bit of momentum coming down. This thing is bouncing around, but we are making higher lows as we go up. So everything's intact for this uptrend. COPX is another one that I own. This is an ETF of copper. It's a bunch of copper miners. I think copper is going to do incredible things for a long-term perspective. We've broken out of these patterns here, and it's been basically moving on higher. So I'm just holding on to my shares. I'm not doing anything with COPX. It's in the donations portfolio. I added it in there as well. Up about 5% today. Finished strong, looks strong, is strong. Rio, another one, Rio Tinto is this company. We've had a little bit of a pullback here. It's probably not bad to be nibbling on it down here where it's at. So that doesn't look too bad down here. Eventually, you know what's going to happen? It's going to go a lot higher. We've got the breakout move. We had a return move. I always buy the return move, and then we've been moving up higher again. BHP, another diversified mining company, a little bit of a big selling pressure here. It looks like it's struggling to come back up. It's probably going to move sideways for a little bit, is my guess. But you can see kind of, if we just kind of draw like a megaphone type pattern here, going back and forth and getting towards this bottom here, I'd be a buyer, but we're up 3.18% today. Again, guys, I am not doing a single thing with my shares. I'm just holding on to all my shares. We are going into a large commodity bull market. This was the consolidation period, and now we're going to move into a move higher, breaking out of that consolidation period. This is the last consolidation period, breaking higher in 03 and really moving higher. So It's coming, guys. It's coming. Glencore is another one that I own. It's right on top of this long-term resistance line. It's got the booty bottom. Here's your booty bottom. It broke, and it's been running higher. It was up 5% today. Just let it make you money, guys. Don't get caught up on the day-to-day movements. These are all very good long-term picks, in my opinion. Ivanhoe, I added this one in here. I don't own Ivanhoe directly. A lot of people like it. It looks a little weak in here, but hopefully you can get some support right where it's at. This one had the consolidation period and it broke and just started running. Glencore is like somewhere in here. This one's further along in its run. Tech Resources, getting a little bit of selling pressure. That's what that wick is at the top there. Getting a little bit of selling pressure. But again, we've got higher lows stepping on up and higher highs. It's in an uptrend. It looks good. Freeport-McMoRan, this is FCX, is the ticker symbol. Nice, good bullish engulfing move there. Came on back. Moving on higher today. Everything looks like we're moving to an uptrend move. This is the last consolidation period, and now we're moving on up. So that looks good. Southern Copper is another one that I like a lot. We're going to zoom in here. The lines didn't show up. It didn't load fast enough. There's our lines there. So we broke this line right here. We've been making higher lows, higher highs. This is in an uptrend. I own it. I've just been sitting on my shares, and I'm not going to do anything with it. Big picture view, guys. It's broken out of this big consolidation pattern since 2005. It peaked in 07. It's consolidating, and now we're going to break to new upper highs and levels for that stock. This is a tin company. It's broken to the upside. Look at the daily candlesticks. It's kind of moving sideways, but higher highs and higher lows. It looks good. Continues higher. South 32. This is another company I own. It's got coal. I think it has aluminum too, if I can remember right. It's got a bunch of different ones. Got silver. This thing's just looking fantastic. It's broken to the upside of this resistance line and continues to make higher highs and higher lows. It's exactly what we want. This is in an uptrend, and what do you do in an uptrend? You just hold on. Anglo American Platinum, it went into kind of hyper mode here with the war event, and we've come on back, but it still looks good right here. Big bullish engulfing. It's got a hammer candlestick pattern. It looks good. Impala Platinum, another bullish engulfing pattern here. It's popped higher today. This was a continuation pattern that it had to work through, and now we're moving on up. This one's had a pretty good run. I don't think it would be one of my first picks, but you know what? It's doing all right. And then Nova Royalty. Nova Royalty, I own this one as well. More of a speculative royalty company on copper and nickel. It doesn't earn any money at the moment, but the royalties will soon. It looks like this is ready to move higher. Nice, good, strong finishing today in Nova Royalty. This looks very good for a pickup right here for a potential move very soon to move higher. So that's the diversified mining companies, some copper companies and whatnot. Let's look at the fertilizer agriculture space. Moo is one of the agricultural ETFs. It's just chilling on top of its pattern right now. Looking at the dailies, yeah, it's right there chilling on top. Now, IPI getting more of a sell-off here. What do we do? What do we do on the channel? If you guys are getting worried, hey, it's selling off. And it's selling off quite dramatically. I own it. I haven't done anything with my shares. I'm notorious for doing nothing. We've got the double booty bottom. We've got a break. And then we usually do a back test. This thing just took off and ran because of the war and the potash movement. But looks like we're coming back. We'll probably find some support here soon. I would be a buyer of it again once it finds support. There's a lot of momentum coming down. Let it dissipate. Let it come and stabilize first, and then I would look at buying. ADM, it looks like it's consolidating up here. There we go. Like I did draw on this. This is the consolidation period. This is the break. So what happens is you run, it'll consolidate for a little bit. 99, 2000 was a bottom. Big move, consolidate, big move, consolidate, big move, over and over. So that's ADM, Archer Daniels Midland. Here's Scott's Miracle Grow. This thing has had a pretty vertical run. I don't know if I'd be chasing it. I think personally that's going to take some time to consolidate. So for me, I wouldn't be jumping in Scott's Miracle Grow. CMP, this is another company. I can't remember the name of it. But yeah, I probably wouldn't be jumping in this either. They've got large down days here. I wouldn't be necessarily jumping in that one. LXU, this guy backing out. I threw a line up here. It looks like we're getting a little bit of resistance there short term. It still looks like it's hauling. Still looks like it's doing pretty well. But it's had a pretty good run, guys. I don't know if I'd be jumping in that one. ICL, this looks like it's been a steady increaser. Backing out, taking a big picture view. You can see kind of a pattern break there. Sometimes they break and then they go sideways for a little bit and then they start to run. That's a pretty big run from $3 up to $11. Looks like it could maybe continue. Doesn't look too bad. Nutrien looks like it's putting in a little bit of a short-term top. I bet you these have to consolidate. Yeah, it's got a bearish engulfing here, kind of a bigger pattern. Could come back or go sideways for a little bit. CF Industries, this is another, I think it's potash or fertilizer company. Big move, wick at the top there. The dailies do have a bearish engulfing. It could go sideways to lower for a little bit and consolidate. Mosaic, I don't see any reversal patterns here. It looks like it's just moving sideways, consolidating. But we've had a monster run already. I think I got it at like 25 or something. And it's been moving up, so we might have a little consolidation before moving higher. UAN, another fertilizer company. We're getting a little bit of selling pressure. That's what these red candlesticks and wicks are, bearish piercings. We could consolidate, go sideways for a little bit, or maybe head a little bit lower in a consolidation period. This has had a monster run, and this is what I mean by consolidation period. It could go sideways like this, or sideways to slightly lower, or maybe we pull back a little bit and consolidate. EEM having a rip of a day. It's come on back, and we're ripping higher, 8%. So EEM looking quite strong today. This is a ATRWF. This is a Altius Renewable royalty company. This one's broken to the upside here, and it's just consolidating here. This is the double booty bottom, the spring, and I bought it down here. Luckily, I did. I found it, and I thought it was kind of a cool ETF for that. Altius Minerals royalty. This one's got potash and some other stuff in it. This one's got a long-term trend line break to the upside. You might see this do a return move. Don't be afraid. Let this come back on down to you, and then if you guys want, do a little bit of a buy down there if it comes back there. I've been watching it. And then Seed. Seed is one that one of the subscribers have brought up. It's got nice, good buying pressure. It did have a little bit of selling pressure here, but it looks like it's right at the bottom of the booty. And that's usually a good spot to be looking and buying a little bit if you want more of a speculative type play on growth. So that's the company Seed. And I did add that to the donations portfolio. Let me see. What else do we have down here that we could also cover? We've got aluminum here. Aluminum's gone quite crazy. It's got the booty bottom moving higher. We've got the 1 year here. It's pulled off its highs quite a bit, and the company's pulled back quite a bit off that high. CSTM, Constellum, I think is what it's called. It's kind of at the bottom here at support. Usually I like to buy things when they're at support levels. Let's look at the big picture view. That's that booty bottom. It's consolidating, and then I think we're going to see another move higher eventually. Up to you on what you want to do. I don't own it. ARNC, I can't remember which one this one is. Man, it looks okay. It's trying to break through its thing. It's kind of pulling back, though. CENX, Century Aluminum, another company that has done a big breakout pattern. This is a big breakout of this pattern here. You can see the big run and move. Getting a bloody nose right now. We're getting a little bit of a pullback in it. It's a bloody nose on a monthly candlestick basis. This is a return move, and that's what you do: is you buy the return move when it kind of comes down and settles in. ACH, Aluminum China Corporation or something like that, vertically integrated company. I did buy it. I bought it up here, guys. I got slaughtered in the donations portfolio. It did pop higher today, 14.33. I like that it's got the bounce, but we are in this long term. We're trying to break out of this pattern and then make a run higher like it did last bull market. Last bull market had a lot of punch to its move. 02, it was 275, got to a high of $75. So I know when this thing moves, it moves. So I'm taking a little bit. I would cost average into it, and I would actually buy more if I had. Well, actually, I do have more money. I should buy more. I'll buy more into it here if once it settles down. Vedanta is the Indian one for aluminum. It's broken to the upside of its massive consolidation pattern. We'll probably see this one head higher as well. It's looking quite strong. Alcoa is another one, AA. This one's had a monster run from its bottom of $7 to $75. It's broken some resistance. It looks decent. But the pattern looks really weird. But it's been doing well. This one's KALU. I can't remember this one. This one doesn't look as hot. I probably wouldn't enter that one. But the one that gets me is CENX and ACH are the two that I really like that I would be looking at. And then Vedanta, VEDL is another one that I would look at myself. So that's what I've got today, guys. So we went over diversified mining companies. They look pretty good. They've got higher lows, higher highs, stepping up in an uptrend. We looked at the fertilizer companies. Some of the fertilizers do look overstretched on some of them. I would wait for that momentum to come and dissipate first in Intrepid Potash, and then I would add into it. That's what I would do. I'm already in the stock. I haven't sold anything. Guys, I'm not in the business of trading in and out. I think that's incredibly difficult, incredibly stressful, and I and many other people have not been successful at trying to time your buys that well. It takes an insane amount of discipline. You have to really stick to your strategy, and when something isn't there, you can't force it to be there. If you're cost averaging in, you can mess up your purchases, and since you're in it for the long term, it doesn't really matter that much. I think it's a lot less stress, a lot less risk approach, and a more favorable way to make money during these big long-term cycles. So if we're in a commodity bull market, I'm going to buy commodity companies for the majority of my portfolio and just ride it higher. I always own precious metals, bull market or not, doesn't matter. And I just shift between metal types depending on the bull market that we're in. If you guys like this analysis, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. If you guys want to check out my website, it's in there. You're going to have to sign up to see the content. Again, silver members are the financial education type stuff. It's not necessarily the technical analysis that we're doing with individual companies here. That's a platinum membership. If you want stock picks, see my individual portfolio. The silver membership will get you the donations portfolio, and you can see that in there. So that's what I've got for today. Thanks for listening. This is Finding Value.